I see us, but not a movie. There we go.
The Conference of the Iron Princes has been concluded and Logan Seeger has been accepted and backed as the adopted heir of Nicholas Trogg. Margot Struben, responsible for the coup, has been imprisoned. Hans Upman lies in a magical sleep, bound by an unknown woman with a connection to the Fae and an obsession with the Council. Logan now serves as the Iron Prince, but without lands, wealth, or any real power beyond the Accord of the Iron Princes. Freeburg's future, as ever, is uncertain.
The night is late, and as autumn has progressed in Eisen, every night has been one of like not constant rain. It's just more like a constant sort of it'll drizzle for a little bit and then it'll stop and then it'll drizzle a little bit more, which makes for sort of a musical accompaniment as Rain is reading late at night. Um, the current book that is spread before her is the one that she most recently acquired from Hilbrand, particularly one about uh, the agiotage. Um, yeah, her recent lessons of Adachi taught her the meaning of it, and the meaning is to speculate, but it's not to speculate as in like to think. It's speculate as in the sense of um, to purchase something that you anticipate being more valuable later, like a speculator. And the it's an interesting and dark kind of parallel to the history that she's learned, one that was written by somebody with an enormous amount of power in Eisen, and speaks to levels of conspiracy for which no real evidence exists in any of the other like scholarly works that she's seen. Um, and not only that, but it closes out with like the protagonist, one of Hilgren's ancestors, lying in bed, dying of the White Plague, and making a list of every other co-conspirator that he was working with who also died of the White Plague. Um, and it's just sort of it's too much to be coincidence, even though like a third of the population died from the last outbreak of White Plague. Um, the way that it seemed to hit every single person who had been involved in this conspiracy to like do sorcerous corruption is dark, and it would make a good horror story, but it's weird that it seems to be written as history. Um, and it makes it all the more terrifying when there's a and the door into her home kind of like crashes inwards. Um, she's, like probably like ready for like sleep and rest and whatnot. So in nightgowns and the like, as she sees like a blood-soaked Tori stumble into her home. Yeah, and he kind of like sinks down against a wall, and then when she can go ahead and make a doctor roll along with her wits.
Tori's not in network for your HMO.
How did we do on that roll? Wits and doctor, if she has that now. Yeah, he's sunk down, um, and the wounds that he has on him, they are like relatively minor. But what she realizes is that he's showing the signs of like anemia or of somebody who is like actually low on blood because they've like come close to bleeding out. Does that make sense? But none of the wounds that are on him are significant enough to have caused that kind of damage. Does that make sense? Uh, he says we were on the way to Charus and something happened. He says we were in the middle of the portal. He says, and I was trying to drag along our friend. He says, and he began to scream. So he began to scream that he had found him, that he was there, and I realized that he was going for his blindfold. So I tried to stop him, and he fought me. He got a hold of my own blade. Uh, he he was between me and I don't know a dozen of the workers that work for Perwall Mercantile. He says, and I lost them. I lost him. He got his blindfold off, he says, and then he was just blood in my hands. Um, he says we turned around immediately. I, he didn't want to come back, the Porte sorcerer. He didn't want to come back through, not after a jump like that, but I insisted. And knowing the source of the wounds and stuff like that, the anemia makes sense. It's an understood thing that if you travel into a Porte gate with an open wound, you lose a lot of blood. He's like bed rest and recovery kind of. He kind of like looks down at the ground and he's like, I don't think I'm in any danger. What happened was whatever demons inhabit the place that Porte travels through. Whenever he takes his transit, he takes two, 3 dozen, each of them carrying a backpack. We were put in the middle, but each one is bound to the next. When we lost a link in the chain, everyone after fell off. I'm sorry that your evidence was lost. Says I still have his letter. I know it doesn't mean as much as his testimony. I can try to run things down in Montaigne once I've recovered. I would be lying if I said there wasn't some self-interest in it. Yeah, he's definitely like paler than normal. And like a lot of the blood that like it comes right off. She's seen this before. Porte's blood is just sort of unique. It doesn't dry as quickly. It often sort of like lingers on stones or walls for days afterwards. Since your aunt was at risk, it made sense to do this. Might I might have another possibility there. A means to get her to something closer to safety. Yes, but a but a merchant prince could easily request the court wit of Montaigne to visit their court for a time, and I could make that happen. It's not as though Vodacce courts are particularly safe places, but it is better than being in Montaigne when the emperor wants you dead. You know, cannot make promises as to which court she will land up in. This sort of thing is a matter of making making somebody an attraction for a season, and the merchant princes bid on whose court they will end up in. This is, as I said, I have my own reasons. Says one of them is that he kind of like grimaces and sits up. There will come a time when the work that I've done in Seeger lands might make me anathema in Vodacce lands, and I will need a place to stay. Mm. Death by boredom is a very real possibility. There's a reason I'm here in Isenlands instead of patrolling Mondavi farmlands. How do you feel about wheat? He kisses her, just sort of out of the blue, just like an impulsive lean forward. Um, and then like leans back with the awareness that he's like crossed a boundary, you know what I'm saying? But no sense of apology in the way that he's looking at her. I am feeling a little lightheaded. I think I should lean back. And I'm going to drop the curtain after that because that was an excellent line to end on.
Blood
Like the
flow,
blood flow,
huh?
sir. Um, I love that the chat is like, tase him, the nerve. Can't tell if you're shipping it or not. We're just a little bit above. Um, all
And
right. It's very true. Um, Well, let me jump into. Thank you, everyone, and welcome to the Shadow of the Wachtturm. Our producer tonight is one of the moderators of Dirty 20 Gaming, the delightful and compassionate Gloriosa. Our lore master for the series is the beautiful and benevolent Syndra. Before we get started, I wanted to give a content warning. With the spirit of a Seven Sea is swashbuckling adventure and shadowy intrigue, the story will deal with mature themes, including death, loss, suicide, and grief. Eisen, our setting, is recovering from a 30-year civil war over religious differences. It may get dark sometimes, and there's no shame in bowing out if it's not a place your head can go at the moment. So, without further ado, I'm going to have our savvy swashbucklers introduce themselves, starting with Honorine.
You know what's awesome about that? I just realized I was muted in OBS for that whole time.
Oh no! So the whole intro.
Anyway, hi, I'm Honorine. I'm Glory. Um, it's because my button didn't work. I blame OBS. Anyway, so
Now
I'm
you get to
here
do the 2 minute
tonight.
recap of everything that just happened.
We just had a scene. I I don't even know what happened. I Anyway, there was a kiss, um and she's mad about her aunt, and she's also like don't don't worry about being in too much danger, but like I think you like to be in a little bit of danger. Anyway, so I'm Glory and I'm Honorine and I'm flustered, but I'm also here 3 nights a week. Tonight I'm on camera, but I also produce for our wonderful Wednesday night game, Oracle Force, which is full of superheroes who totally know exactly what they're doing. And then on Thursday nights, I'm here producing for Deviant Paradox, which is currently on a break. But like, is delightful chaos. Like, we just got a new bait. What? Oh, I thought somebody said something.
We're probably gonna go live this week.
This week? Okay.
Yeah.
So we're not on a break. We are on a break, but not on a break. We broke last week. I'm also on the Discord. And that's where I am. And that's who I am. I'm going to go ahead and give it over to Bison.
Hi, that's me. I am Bison_Stonefist. I'm a regular on this channel. I used to think 4 nights is a lot. Apparently, it's not anymore. Somebody is making me look bad. Tonight I am playing Gav the Grin, our sewer surf and suplex machine. And uh, that's here tonight. On Tuesday, my brain just completely forgot where I was going. On Tuesdays, I am the GM for our Cyberpunk Red campaign, Carnage Heights. It is an absolute craziness. I keep saying that we're ramping up to the big finale, but dude, I don't know where we're going. Things are just nuts. Um, on Thursdays, I am in the Deviant Paradox game. I am Garrett Sakes, our resident punk and anti-authority aficionado. That's a whole thing. And on Join More Games, yeah. My wife's already mad that I don't pay attention to her enough as is. Guys, on Saturdays, I am Captain Calvin Scooter Hobbs, our yeah, big scoots. Everybody's saying it. I can hear it through the mute. On our Starforged game, Starsworn. That's a really unique game. It's 4 players, 4 GMs. They're all the same people, and none of us know what's happening, which is great. Let's take it to Rooney next.
Hey, you found me. I'm Ruth. I am here. I'm here today as Runa. I am here on Tuesdays as Exit. Here on. Sorry, I'm trying to remember what days I'm in games.
All of them.
No.
Almost.
I'm here on Wednesday, every other Wednesday as Trek. And I'm also here on Thursdays as Nora. Super fun, super cool. I'm gonna pass it over to Lynn.
Hey folks, it's Bat Cow here. You found me, and only me. You found nobody else at this point in time. That aside, you can find me here on Sundays playing Len the Lizard Costin. He's just got it going on. He's our shape-changing, doesn't really know what his job is, but he does it to the best of his damn ability. You can find me in 2 or 3 weeks, or something like that, for the mini series, The Printer's Devil, which will have Sarah, part of what put her ahead of Bison in the big numbers. Janet and Kevin. It'll be Lovecraftian horror based on a movie I really enjoy, but I'm not going to name it, so nobody spoilers anything, at least not until it's over. Other than that, you can find me on the Discord posting unhinged food memes. Some so unhinged apparently that they just have to go away again, so nobody has to ever see them. And otherwise, I'm there as a menace, and I'm probably also at some point, if I'm not working, I'm modding for somebody and bullying them. And that's about it for me. So down to Hans.
I
Hello,
do have to
everybody.
mention, for the very first time, like I have seen with Bat Kyle, we actually had a terrible food meme that got like revoked. So
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yep, I revoked it. I
Damn.
did not expect that. I was like, oh, this is great. Tip your bear. I mean,
We found the upper limit. So
Yeah.
all right, back to
more you know.
Hans. Sorry.
Well, yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Rory, playing this wonderful game with these wonderful people here on Sunday evenings as Hans, the now recently promoted General Boy.
You're so. You
You can still do it. It's just a
I'm
different
still
bit.
waiting for it. I'm sorry.
you, sir.
Yeah, apparently recently
You
promoted to a
tease.
fucking general. Yeah. Aside from this wonderful Sunday evening, you can find me here every other Wednesdays as a part of the Oracle Force, the gravity manipulator graviton. And outside of outside of this wonderful Twitch channel, Dirty 20 Gaming, you can find past, present, and in progress musical stuff that I've made on SoundCloud. And it is official. Last Friday was episode 1 of The Basement live. And you can also find full mixes of every single stream that I do. You can find every single mix that I do on stream on SoundCloud within a couple days after each stream. But yeah, that is everything. And I believe that just leaves Sarah, right? Off to you then.
All right. Hey, y'all. My name is Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I am here 4.5, going to be 5.5 nights a week. I don't have a life. I'm in the Monday game. I'll talk more about that when that comes out. I am in the Tuesday game, Cyberpunk Red Carnage Heights, as Hecate Magic, Broken Heart of the Team. I am in our Wednesday game, Mask Oracle Force, as Nightwish. Somehow she's still team lead. I don't understand that one. I am the DM for the City of Mist campaign, Deviant Paradox, Chaos Incarnate. That is going to become a full name. And I am here tonight in our 7th Sea Shadow of the Wachtturm as Rosa Nix. She doesn't fully understand what's happening to her. Oh, and other than that, you can find me over on Tangle Productions working with Scarlet Adventure on stuff and things that'll come out eventually.
All right, is that back to me then? So there is one other announcement that I have to make, which is that I understand in 2 short days, one of our cast members is turning slightly older. And we have a tradition at this point of awful singing. And I understand that I'm going to give people the option to like opt out of it. So you have to the count of 10 to beg off and say, please God, no. Otherwise, you are getting the demonic harmonies that is the cast of the Shadow of the Wachtturm singing your birthday. All right, Rory, you good?
Yeah, no, I have no problem with that.
All right, we've tried multiple ways to make this better. They don't work. So we're just going to go for it.
Headphones warning for the people on YouTube. Turn your volume down a little bit.
Yeah, either turn your volume up and point it at somebody you don't like, or
Yeah.
Weaponized happy birthday, motherfucker.
our goal is to make like every dog in the like city block that you live in just start howling a lot. That's the end goal that we're building towards. So on 3 we're gonna sing happy birthday to Rory. And so 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Birthday
Happy
to
birthday to
Happy
you.
birthday,
Happy
dear
birthday,
Rory.
Happy birthday to
Happy
birthday
Happy
to you.
There we go. Oh man!
Now we
Thank
gotta
you.
find the Swedish Chef version and use that on the next one.
Or the Swedish Chef.
Okay, so let me get us back into this moment here. So, in the ancient days of Numa, the great storyteller and philosopher Ceres the Wiser once noted that an adventure can only begin in one of 3 ways: by death, by slur, or by ladder. To begin without one of these incitements is folly, the tobacco best described as an indiscretion, a dalliance, or an escapade. But fear not, we begin tonight, properly girded, with a death, the most inescapable of the 3, and thus the most powerful. Now, we've already talked about who died in particular, and the particular bad death they had inside of what Porte sorcerers call the waves. The effects of that will be felt over time, but what I want to do now is I want to cut over to Gav, who has, we missed last week, but everybody has had some time, a couple of like weeks and things like that to sort of catch up on the things that were theirs to do. I'm curious. So I think Len had mentioned that he was going to communicate to Gav the things he found out about what Felix and his group were up to.
Yeah, just for safety purposes, Gav should know that the little rascals are suddenly, whether they're going to sell it for profit or not, they're possibly the most well-armed gang in the city.
Bison has theories on the reasons why they're doing it. Gav does not. Happy discordant birthday. Nice. I think Gav would oh gosh. He wouldn't really bring it up to Felix directly, but he would go and find a few of the bricks, like the secret hiding spots, and leave a note for Felix saying,
So
talk to me when you have the time.
Len might not have like realized it because he's not like as familiar with like he knows Eisen and stuff like that, but he didn't grow up like a street rat and a street kid here in Freeburg and understand the degree
Yeah.
to which like different symbols have meaning. Does that make sense? And that there's sort of like an almost creation of like a hieroglyphic thieves can't, because most of them can't read. And it takes Gav a moment as he's looking at the symbol that's like scratched on one of the bricks to like realize what the symbol represents, and it's a skeletal hand.
Yeah, he has a feeling he knows exactly why they're there now that he's looked at it. And yeah, the ones that he leaves the notes in, he inks in with red.
Okay.
So instead of being white scratches, it's, red scratch,
Yeah.
more or less. And it's just a simple note, see me when you have time.
Yeah. It takes a little bit of a relay because what Gav realizes happens belatedly is Felix is still watching the house with the rat catchers, and so he's still keeping an eye out on Upman and Margot. So what that means is that at some point, one of the runners who's like, putting away guns finds the letter, can't read it, brings it to Felix. And it's like that much of a delay before runner comes and finds Gav and says Felix is still at the rat catchers. He hasn't left, which makes Gav realize that this whole process of stealing everything, the plans, everything, Felix has done all of it remotely. He hasn't like personally overseen any of it.
Mm-hmm. He's very impressed. I think when he goes to talk to Felix about it, it's just no, it's Bison wants to say break glass in case of fire. But basically, yeah, it's like I have noticed the small arsenal you've left around the finer heart.
He says after everything with the crosses, I realize that being small isn't gonna stop anyone from hurting us. And one day we're going to be big enough and dangerous enough that somebody else thinks it's time to wipe us off the map and take our territory.
So he's just in case for the red hands, huh?
He says, we've got the space that we need. We've got enough mouths to feed that I don't know how we're going to get through the winter, but I'm working on that part.
I would like to see what you have. I'm also making plans.
He kind of clears his throat and he says, so Orenson has ships that can travel the river, that go up and down it. He says, we can't afford any of the ships yet. He says, but what I'm thinking is if we get enough that we can rent, then we could trade up and down along the coast. Find some trustworthy captains to do it for us. Says work out a system to repay Jairus out of a cut of the profits and bring in food that way.
So you will need coin for this.
Or something to trade.
You certainly have a lot of gunpowder. It is not worth much here in Freiburg, but other provinces.
I figured the people who are most likely going to be buying the gunpowder are, well, if this whole getting an army thing gets up and running.
That is true. You have been hearing
He
the
says,
rumors, da?
um, he nods. He says, the guards talk. He says, it makes sense.
Things are not so good abroad, Felix. We may have a new Iron Prince, but Heilgrund is no longer with us, and their province has gone mad.
The ghosts are riding around like it's the end of the world, from what I heard.
Elite soldiers, bandits.
Says, which means right before winter, we're going to have a lot of women and children arriving.
I do not have a lot of money. The bear house certainly is better than catching rats, but I will help with this boat, trying to get food to the people.
You got friends who are rich and powerful now.
I do.
Says maybe if there's any way to do it, the fashionable thing before the start of the winter is for families that have enough to take in an orphan. Is that something that can be done?
It is certainly not something that Gav knows how to do, but I ask around. You know, we know people who are fancy. He does a little pose. They can maybe start a trend. Charity is not a Freiburg tradition, but perhaps we can make it so.
He says, I can tell the boys in the crew that we're planning something big and they just need to stick it out. After they get used to a regular meal and warm clothes, I doubt they'll want to be part of the gang. But they won't go unless they think it's part of a stick up. That'll keep them out of the silverware, biding their time and behaving.
Many things are changing in the city, Felix. I am glad that you are changing for the better. You are growing into a good man.
He thoughtfully says, I look at you and I see somebody who does what has to be done for others. And I want to be that.
People like us, we have to walk carefully. People in
nods.
power do not like people like us. So we have to convince them.
Says, or convince them that they need us.
Da.
Says, that's it. That's what I'm really up to. The guns are for insurance. Says, because we're getting big enough that we're dangerous. Says, but beyond that, he says, I'm worried about surviving a winter. This
As
winter.
are we all. My stomach grumbles just thinking about it.
Oh, and kind of, second.
Cat cameo.
She needed attention. So, he kind of looks over. You can see that like Margot is like sleeping at the moment. Um, and at the same time, like Hans himself is still in the same kind of like stupor that you've seen him in for quite a few days now. He doesn't seem to be like getting thinner or anything. Um, and the rat catchers have said they couldn't make him eat. Like the normal kind of ways you can make an unconscious person like swallow reflexively and stuff like
Yeah.
that, he just seems to ignore.
I have not had the chance to talk to my friends about this, but I suspect this may be the work of sorcery. This is why nothing works. Um, when we go, or when everyone finally has time to speak to Frau Struber, hopefully we can wake him up.
He says she's been good company.
I believe in what she thinks. I just do not believe in the methods. This city belongs to the people.
If it's okay, can I get her more pen and paper? She wrote a letter, but she wants to write a play.
I will. I know a store that has good paper. I will return. May I see her letter? Or has
Yeah.
it been sent?
He says this is the one that's supposed to be to her people in wherever their headquarters is.
Hmm.
Um, and reading through it, it's kind of like it looks like it's her taking exact accounting of like the things that she was responsible for. Does that make sense? But also noting that the attack happened, it happened with stolen explosives, and it was because she trusted somebody that she should not have. Somebody who had actually posed as a member of their group. So
Yeah.
um, she's matter of factual about all. Does that make sense? It's like clearly the importance for her is getting the details right and making sure that like they know the things that are true
Yeah.
to distinguish from what's
It's
going to
not
be
like an
said about her.
admission of guilt. It's more like this is our statement. This is what went down. So
Um,
that just to quell rumors and stuff.
yeah, so a few of the things that are interesting. The majority of the people that were down in the sewers that night, they weren't members of last year. They were just people who when told like that there was going to be an assassination attempt against Iron Prince, were in. 2/3 of them had worked for Posen or Seeger before.
Interesting. So the miner who doesn't know anything was not one of those guys. He was one of the
He's not a member
actual
of the
Velasquez.
Relaskier.
He's
He
not.
was an opportunist who actually bankrolled some of their stuff, but uh, was specific in that Heinzel had to be included in the targeted princes. It had already been the intent that all of the Iron Princes be targeted, so they agreed. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Because they were trying to tear down the institution or take revenge on a specific prince.
Oh, the player does not like that. Um, but I mean, that guy's probably going to hang anyways. So,
There's also one more thing that's kind of included in it. So Griselda, she was the one that came to speak on behalf of Von Wish.
mhm.
Um, and she was known to be his representative, but they didn't target her for two reasons. One, she wasn't an Iron Prince. Two, they believe she's pregnant.
Oh, okay.
As to how they have that information, it's not mentioned, but it was just like,
Bison just light went off. Um, That's potentially a very big deal.
I'm
Yeah,
just going to interrupt real quick because there's a question about in the journal that Henri has. No, Hilgrim himself seemed to be unaware that Griselda was pregnant. There's no mention of anything like that.
all right. He is going to return the letter. He's not going to take it with him, because you know, honestly, Margot probably assumes that he's read everything she's written anyway. So
Well, this is the only thing she's like produced
actually
in the
written.
time. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he gives the letter back. He's like, um, I will make a copy of this, and then we will see that it gets to who it needs to. We will hopefully we will have time this week for a proper conversation with Frostruber.
He says, beyond that, the only other favor you could do me is just check in with any names. I'm not going to give them names because then I'll have to remember them. Just like two of the kids that are in the gang that are apparently like currently in the Hall of Records working as like Honnelor's assistants. It's been a regular rotation. Honnelor's like teaching them how to read, and they're in turn helping carry books and stuff like that. It's like a low stakes job that doesn't pay very much, but keeps them warm and off the streets.
Mm-hmm.
So
I needed to speak to Hannelore anyways, so that works. But first, I must go to the city and speak to Wilma Probst. I have plans, and certain people must not know them.
um, are you asking Wilma to the Bearhausen? If you don't,
Um, okay, so basically what he's going to be asking Wilma is to help him secure property without Hannelore knowing. He wants it to be a surprise.
and she just kind of like, sucker, calls him in. And she kind of like explains the quandary to him, and he's like, I can take the money and the property, and purchase them in my name and sign a deed of transfer that will be in your possession but won't take effect until provided to the city hall.
Perfect, perfect. I thank you very much for this assistance. I
I
still
will
haven't.
require one thing in return. If this
Ah,
is for the purpose that I think it is, I would like to be allowed to assist you in decorating it.
I can do this. We still have certain things to figure out.
Of course, there are many things.
And you see this 7 foot tall, well north of 350 pound man start doing like this. I do not know what to say.
Says your service to the city is more than thanks enough, Sir Gav.
I mean to her.
Oh,
He blushes a little bit.
do you have some idea where you intend to make a question to her?
Um, his plan, he details it out a little bit, was to ask her for assistance in filing something new. And it would be the deed to the house. And there'd be a spot for her name. Because Gav would have signed it himself already. And then
Might I make a suggestion, sir?
please do.
This moment where you ask the question will be one that lives in her memory for the rest of her life. And you would wish to afford the lady every opportunity to be dressed and prepared for the occasion, as opposed to simply a day at work.
I did not think of this.
Might I suggest a small business of which you will be a stakeholder and asking her to accompany you to the ribbon cutting of it? And instead of a business, there is a home.
He thinks about it and he's like, I believe this could work. I hope it could work.
He gives a smile. He's happy to offer my assistance.
Danke.
So I'm going to cut away from there because there's still quite a bit of unfinished business that we're going to be going over. Does anybody? This is the moment to kind of speak up and be like, "This is the thing I really want to get done."
Journal.
Mom!
Journal.
Journal, mom.
Yay!
Desperation.
I need to know.
Okay.
But it can wait.
No,
So
you
Len
go
and
first.
Hans, do you have anything in particular that you guys want to do too? I just want to ask real quick.
I never have anything.
What's
Hey.
up?
I never have anything in particular.
All right.
And Len will just be doing kind of his balance of trying to help Hans, spend time with Rosa, and actually working on his physical fitness as well, because I'm working towards that strength 4.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, so you're getting in on Hans's leg day.
Yes, but for arms, together we have one full workout.
So here's what I'm gonna have the two of you do, since like kind of the next part of what you're doing is going to be a little bit, Hans is still sort of like in the stage of where he's needing to show that he's going to be a viable candidate for this generalship. And part of that means sort of like getting to people that they've done favors for, people that think highly of them, and just saying, hey, are you willing to help fund the building of a wall or the training of an army or something like that? And Len can certainly assist in that. And so they can create like a joint task force of persuasion. You only get one role for each of the courts. And so I will let you guys decide who's going to be rolling for each of the 5 courts, and then I'll give you a roll for that
Oh, there's
court.
5. Damn.
Oof.
And if you want to recruit anybody else in on this, you can. But you guys had specifically noted that you were doing this as your downtime. And since this is kind of more of a mechanical thing, I figured it'd be the fastest to do.
I'm with it.
What are the 5? There's swords.
There's
shadows.
swords, cups, staves, coins, and crosses is the 5th one, which is the church.
Crosses. Oh, the church. Right. Oh.
Do you want to just do evens and I'll do odds?
Yeah, I guess.
That's
Who's got the
5?
best? Who's got the best rip?
Oh, you
So
have the
it's-
best
it's gonna- each of them is going to have a
reputation,
different
either
skill
one?
actually associated with it.
Oh,
If you
okay.
want help with resolve, I can help with resolve.
I think for all of these, I'll accept either wits or panache. This is persuasion. So
Oh, you need help with panache?
Honoring would definitely be a good one to involve, and in his way, Gav for his shadow connection. So once again, really like the whole team, and Runa knows boat, so she can do something, I guess.
Do
Damn.
something, I guess.
she honestly
She
is
can
fairly good
heal.
now because she has a broad verse of like stuff with different crafting groups and stuff like that.
A lot of the
So she can
merchants
actually
yeah.
speak to like commoners and like merchants. So
And I'm sure she could also talk to the knights.
Say nee. Sorry.
No, you're not.
All right. So you want to just kind of like pull everybody in, and we'll have 5 different people make a roll real quick.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
sounds good.
Well, that's probably what he would
Since
do.
Rosa's
Honestly,
not
to ask the
actively
whole team.
rolling, do you want to have her doing any kind of influence to aid this?
What's another curse dice?
With wits, can I also roll?
I will allow,
appearance?
instead of a curse dice, if she just kind of can single out who's lacking strong connections and would be eager to like gain a friend or an ally or something like that. Like she can just sort of identify like weak links, so to speak, of people that would appreciate being approached. You know what I'm saying? And appreciate the opportunity to gather some influence into the city. All right, so here's how I'm gonna have this go. There's going to be 5 rolls. Each of you is going to call dibs on one of them. I'm going to tell you the skill that's associated with it, and you're going to roll your choice of wits or panache. And you're going to add Rose's appropriate cups that like Arcana die as I think because it's a relatively small use. I'm just going to say it's your level of the strand, so they'll just add 5 to their roll for each of those 4. Does that work?
That's
Okay.
perfect.
All right. So what was the Court of Swords again? Trying to decide which one
That
left.
is the
Swords has to
criminals.
take a -7.
Swords, yeah, Swords is where they meet at the House of Stone.
Mhm.
No, that's Shadow.
No, that is swords. There is no. The House of Stone is the one that is the Shadow Man one, but it's called the House of
He
Stone.
tells the there's a lot of
I'm-
It's the House of Stone because
muddled those up too, to be
it's the
fair.
parable of like the 3 little pigs, but in Shadow Man
Yeah.
form, where the
Oh,
last
okay.
house that they go to is the House of Stone, and he can't blow it over. So, okay. So, for whoever is rolling against the Court of Swords, it is going to be their criminal knack. For whoever is rolling against the Court of Coins, it will be a merchant or craft skill. If you're rolling against the Court of Cups, that is all of the sort of just like not landowners, but like the people renting houses and stuff like that, the Gertrude's group, that is all sort of about looking out for each other. So that one is going to be, I will accept a case for almost anything for that one.
I do that one, and can I use Commoner of 3?
Yeah,
that
I'll
seems
allow, actually, I'm going to say commoner or artist for that one, since I think that's going to be the biggest group of people that make up that group.
Okay, so wits plus Commoner or just Commoner?
Wits plus commoner, and appearance will affect all of these rolls, by the way, so you can add into it. And then the last one, let's see, did I get everybody? The last one will be crosses. That one will be the scholar knack. You're muted, I think. Unless you just didn't say anything.
I just said I can do that.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I'm the only
So-
one here with the scholar knack.
Yeah.
I think so.
So my role is
Commoner,
cups.
Scholar, Merkin.
So that should be 5 rolls though. And everybody except for the one doing crosses gets a +5 because of Rosa like doing her mind ogling.
Oh,
Yeah.
How?
Is it panache or wits or what?
You can choose panache or wits.
How much does stunning add?
2 unkept dice.
Cool.
$17 with the +5. Len did not do great. I'm gonna burn a drop a die and re-roll that if that's allowed.
That is allowed.
That's just very sad. 6.
35 on the criminal. Oh, 40 because the +5.
Okay. Ruth got 45. Jesus.
I missed somewhere. I forget which one I was supposed to do.
How did that happen?
Merchant.
I only kept 3 of them.
You got 25 on one.
That's
Dang.
insane.
I got a 22 with the +5. That re-roll didn't do much for me.
Okay.
It pays to be sexy.
Well, Len is sexy, but he's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the seductive kind of sexy, which isn't as useful as I thought it was going to be when I originally took the trait.
So
Great meme fodder.
it
So
is great
for
meme fodder.
crosses, I got a 27.
Okay. Does your 27 include the +5? Oh no, you
You
didn't have
said there
that
was no
because it's
+5.
crosses. Yeah. Okay. So we have a 27, a 40, a 22, and a 40 from Bison as well, right?
It's 45 with the +5.
Okay.
Team.
Swords, coins, crosses, and cups.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Okay, that leaves staves then. And that
okay,
is
so I'm writing it down real quick. Um, Len was doing the coins, right? Or was doing yeah, you were doing the or sorry, you were doing the cups, like the Gertrude and everybody,
Yeah.
Runa's
right?
coins.
Yeah. So the 22. Um, okay, so you were 40 on the swords. Um, who did staves?
that one is supposed to be mine, and I forget which trait that one is.
Commander or noble will work with that.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So, That's 24.
Okay. Um, so just in general perspective, um, the the group that Gav goes to, he basically shows up at like the House of Stone. The innkeeper's only just recovering from his injuries and stuff like that, but the meeting is still held. And when he kind of puts forward the plan and looking for support and stuff like that, the pushback from them is things like, um, we can promise a certain amount of money if certain construction groups are given like this contract for the wall, or if there will be agreements to purchase X amount of weapons from this like vendor and stuff like that. Does that make sense? So like a certain what he understands to be normal amount of sort of kickback in Freeburg, there's going to be a lot of money that's being brought towards this, but the amount of money isn't so much what is important to them is the reputation that goes with getting to put your maker's mark on. We built this wall. We armed these troops. Does that make sense?
We
And
built
because he
this
knows that
city.
what they're interested in is the reputation, he also knows they're going to be putting quality goods into it because they don't want every garden or every like rifleman in Freeburg to know that their rifles are shit and where they came from.
Yeah.
So
It's the exact opposite of a military industrial complex grift. They're not fighting for kickbacks, they're fighting for rep. They're fighting for clout.
yeah. Um the and there's like some negotiation, but what you can tell is that you're getting good prices, and mostly what they're trying to do is offer their coin by way of like promise of work effectively because they don't have just like a huge amount of coin on hand. The coin that they do have
Yeah.
is largely quickly being reinvested into other ventures because they're criminals and
Mhm.
they're hardworking criminals at that.
And yeah, Gav will, he's not going to make any promises because, it's ultimately it's not his decision, but he takes stock of the requests and, what's needed for what, or what favor is being asked for this support. And he says he will take it to the council. It's like, I am not in the business of making my own decisions.
Um, and before he leaves, Gav, there's also a note to Gav of like, you're welcome to return here even if you don't have pressing business.
Duh.
We understand that an increasingly influential gang within the city owes their loyalty to you.
They're simply good kids looking out for their own.
Of course they are. Moving on from there.
The
So
wink and smile that comes with it.
Runa gets to come to the table with like basically kind of like talking to Jairus, you know what I'm saying? And then going with Jairus back into like the Vendel territory like quarter, and speaking to the merchants there and stuff like that. Jairus's ships are as conflicted a relationship as Jairus has with like the Vendel. I mean, he's not in the Vendel quarter, but they would take him in a heartbeat. It's just that he won't go. Does that make sense? And the agreement that they're willing to work out is that they're willing to provide like significant discounts on everything that would be purchased, um, with uh, with the agreement that um, Jairus found a shipbuilders like association within the city. Um, and he asks that he's willing to do so if Runa is willing to represent that guild whenever there's a meeting of the guild council.
She'd probably agree to it. I mean, what's another responsibility? She's thriving.
Yeah, it's like they meet like twice a month. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And mostly like from what they understand, it's about like pricing and stuff like that and different currency things that are happening in the city and being pushed out by the Vendel Guild in general. She's heard a little bit about it before.
Mhm.
So, um, the uh the cups and the staves, those like it was basically a plea to like one group which just doesn't have a lot of like excess money. You know what I'm saying? The artists and the like homeowners and stuff like that, they're in the process of like getting people in and settled and stuff like that, but like rent a cruise slowly. And most of them in the wake of Reinhardt's like departing the city used all of the available funds they had to buy as much property as they could. And so like all of like their spare currency is kind of all involved, like invested at the moment. So you made a good case. There are many people that are like happy to like offer some token amounts, but it's not substantive backing.
Well, we're
Does that make
also,
sense?
yeah, but we can also pull in, if people want to contribute artwork, if they want to contribute, maybe set up a gallery and do some fundraising that way, things like that.
Even if
Yeah.
people want to contribute, like if someone wants property, soldiers can definitely take up property space if that's the kind of motivation people need to even just like to engage with the cause, maybe.
Yeah. The and then on the other side of that, like for the nobles, they're just real leery about handing any money over to the council at the moment. Bottom line, you've regained a lot of trust, especially after like the Iron Prince stuff. Your reputation has like gone back up with them. They don't feel quite so like personally persecuted. But they're still like they're not in the best place financially for from their perspective. As in, we're not the completely ascendant and top of the heap, and we don't like that. And we don't know what to do about it. So,
Yeah, that checks out.
so when Honorine goes to speak to I'm actually gonna assume that this is with Rosa since Rosa actually knows Cardinal Ciosa. Um, but it is like a direct, we're going to the Cardinal. And when there's a woman with him that's easily 30 years his junior. She's like in like her very early 30s, but wearing a full cardinal's garb, which is an impressive attainment of rank. The church is fully integrated sex walls, by the way. Like there have been female hierophants, there have been female cardinals. It's not gendered in that way. Um, so although it is like a bit gendered if they're in Vadachi, just because like all things Vadachi are a bit misogynist. Um, the but Cardinal Durkheim is an absolutely beautiful example of an Eisenwoman. Um, she has like blonde hair that falls all the way to mid waist that's kept into a very tight braid. She walks with a cane. Um, and it looks like one of her legs is probably either like twisted by accident or by birth. It's kept like hidden under the robes. But after kind of, making the deal and like explaining like that they're looking for some church support, um, Siosa is using that opportunity to kind of introduce the council and what it does to Cardinal Durkheim, who you understand that like this is actually her domain. She's been gone from it because she's been filling in for Montaigne, but she's now returning to it. Um, and he says, I would like to speak on behalf of the church as a whole, but being as I will not be representing the city for the entirety, it's unfair for me to do so. Um, and Durkheim says, I do not yet have a full assessment of the situation here in Freiburg, but it has been tumultuous. I understand that the Inquisition has been exiled from here, something I am greatly in favor of, but that the relationship of the church to the people itself is fraught. I feel it'd be unwise at this point to promise more than I can deliver. But what I can promise is that of the food that the church is bringing in for the people of Freiburg for over the course of the winter, we can certainly set aside a modest amount for rations for the army, if that is an acceptable contribution on our part.
Yes, I believe so.
I believe the promise that they will be fed through the winter might help swell your ranks for that alone.
Almost certainly. Food is, in fact, probably the most important compensation that we can give them.
I understand that an army marches on its belly and fights on the barrel, which is a slight variation of the normal phrase because it in every Eisen army has also been guaranteed like alcohol along with their food rations.
Oh,
And
is
has been
that
known to
what?
like rebel if they don't get it before a big battle.
Yeah, out of character. Is that what that means? A fight on the barrel? Is that what?
It's just an adaptation of a phrase I made up.
Okay. No, I just wanted to make sure I felt okay. I've heard something like that before. I believe that would be greatly appreciated, and also it's very nice to meet you finally.
Says it's nice to meet you as well. I'm sorry I've been so detained in Montaigne, but as you can imagine, things there are even greater disarray than here in Eisen.
You could say that. And she kind of like leans on her Montaigne accent a little bit. Like, I can't do a French accent to save my life, but Honorine has one.
I am going to ask for a very quick, this is going to be a perception roll that I'm just allowing Honorine to make with wits and noble.
Okay. $31.
Okay. Don't have it in front of me, the name of the oldest daughter of the Emperor. Cardinal Durkheim, facial features wise, could be her sister.
The one that's in the journal? No, that's the youngest.
No, that's the youngest. This is the oldest.
Yeah. Interesting. Are you, were you there because you were assigned there, or is it your homeland of any kind?
I went there because I was nearby, and you understand that all of the bishops of Montaigne went missing at the same time. At the same time, the Cardinal of Montaigne died, and the re-election of the Hierophant was made impossible by their absences. I was honestly looking for some clue if the bishops had been killed, proof of it, or if they were detained and held somewhere to release them.
Understandable. That was definitely a filthy business.
She nods.
I'm so sorry that you had to go and see about that.
I wish it had been more fruitful. But
Likewise.
such is the nature of things, so.
We can but pray. That came off smarmier than I meant it to. She's being like a little bit more sympathetic than that. We can but pray.
She says, I spent a great deal of time amongst the crowds outside of Charus, doing my best to tend to those. The nobility of Montaigne is not much concerned with the faith, to put it delicately, but the people of Montaigne are deeply concerned with it. And I sought to assure them that even though the emperor had closed the churches, that their souls were not in peril for it.
And she just sort of like, she's not cold, but definitely at the mention of like the difference between nobility and the people, she definitely is just sort of like feels a little booped on the nose and kind of reacts accordingly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And you don't think it was like a deliberate slight? Does that make sense? More just like a woman who is very concerned with the plight of those people and forgot who she was speaking with. But
It's just like a little shift in expression. She may not even notice it. Rosa might see it. I don't know. But she's just sort of like, oh, right. That. Not out loud, but in her head.
so,
well, thank you for your promise of contribution. Bye.
Yeah, and she's happy for the meeting, and so we're going to cut over to after the events of sort of like the suddenly getting some sort of guild posting for Runa. Is the night that like Jairus has the date take two. And so it's a bit of seamanship. But you see, so the I think I just dragged the whole map line into. But I booped right here, which is where the actual like port is, where he builds the ships and stuff like that. So it's a relatively short sail, just across the river to like down here. But the ship holds the whole time. That particular shoal has like a number of like small caves inside of it. And it's an area where like children often play and stuff like that. And a few of those entrances are large enough for like the full ship to go into. And you see that like he actually unbrackets a brace that's on the main mast, and it sort of like folds back and down so that the ship can be like pushed the rest of the way inside and can like fully go into it. And after it's within there, the two of you have moved what is a fairly large ship by just the two of you, and mostly through oars and whatnot. It definitely like worked up a sweat. But you're in a cave. And as the night begins to fall, you can see that like the rocks overhead, they have like glowing lichen that is both on the rock itself and some of it under the water that illuminates it. And the and a picnic basket that he finally like sets out onto the ship that has been a really interesting smell the entire time. Like it's not, I don't want to say like good or bad, but it's just like enough is going on there that you can't quite make out what is inside of the picnic basket. But it's not the normal like festin fare that he's been kind of religiously providing her with at almost every meal.
Like as she's seeing all like the glow lichen on the rocks and under the water. She's kind of like entranced by it. Like everything's been so busy and this is peaceful and beautiful and great.
So, with getting everything ready, all the business, I didn't have time to cook today.
That's
So
all right.
I thought I would make that into an opportunity instead of a problem. I know one day you'd like to have a ship of your own, and I'd be delighted to build it for you. But I wanted to remind you that Freeburg has something that nowhere else does. And he like opens up the picnic basket, and like as he starts to like pull out foods, you realize he's pulled out foods from every country. Like there's food that is like Avalon pies, like meat pies, and Usuran. I'm totally blanking on Russian foods beyond. Actually, it'd be like a Russian tea that he starts to seep. There's the currywurst, which is everywhere in Freiburg, that is like the representative of the Eisen food. Although you can tell he's actually gone with like a full bratwurst, which is like a little dab of curry on the side to like dip in if you want to, instead of the normal slathered thing that looks like it just buried in ketchup. Um, there's like a little dessert from Vidaci, and another from Montaigne. Like they're almost like contesting each other. Um, and rolls that are from a Castilian vendor that definitely kind of like smell of cinnamon, and some crescent spices as well. Um, so sometimes I feel like you can see the entire world in the city, but I also know that that isn't exactly true.
It's different. It's kind of a mixed basket here. As much as I'd love a ship, I don't know where I'd go. My home was on a ship and the crew is scattered.
I know I've heard stories about things happening in Weston. I just sort of assumed that you'd want to be returning to that.
I have nothing to go back to.
Says Magnus has made a call for all Weston captains to unite behind him.
I wasn't a captain.
Hmm?
I helped.
He says if you had a ship and you could do one thing, what would you do with it?
Well, I have two answers that could be one. Show the ones I love the joys of the sea, how pretty it can be. And I'd go find my mom. Then I'd try to bring her here if I found her. She'd come.
I think if anybody can, you can. They've watched you learn at least 3 trades in the last few weeks. He says, and wherever you go, it's not about how you hammer nails or saw wood. It's about that people listen to you.
There are a lot of people here I don't want to leave.
He nods.
I ended up here for a reason.
I think so too. Whatever happens between us, whatever future awaits us, I'm happy to have met you. I'm happy to have been in your story for some time.
Well, I hope you stay for a while longer.
I hope so too. And he kind of just like invites her to like sit and like lean into his arms, and
She
so
absolutely would.
it's kind of like at first it's like a little bit similar to like things Jor would do when the two of them are flirting. Does that make sense? But it like very quickly becomes like different. He's not like hunting for a kiss. He's not like trying to win her over, trying to like
He's
make
not
her
trying
head
too
spin.
hard.
Right.
Like
He's
I would
just
assume Jor
like,
did.
yeah, like Jor was trying to like make her head spin, make it hard for her to think, you know what I'm saying? Keep her like dizzy and make her think that like that was what love was.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? And Jairus is just enjoying the quiet and the peace of the moment with her. Like the little interlude where they can hear the waves like lapping against the rocks. They can kind of
Mhm.
like take in the lichen, you know, and kind of like makes jokes about like we could, find the formations down here, be the first Vestin to, travel by lichen light, as if it were starlight and constellation.
Wouldn't that be something?
Um, and as it gets later, he kind of takes the opportunity to like rebraid her hair, like just to kind of like pull a comb through it and tighten the sides of it and everything. Um, it in it, there's a lot of the date that's just like quiet after that, like quietly kissing, quietly being in the presence of each other. He's not pushing for more at this moment. Like it's clear that he's interested in it, but he's interested in exactly whenever she's ready to give it.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Um,
She's enjoying the peace that is this moment. Because there's been so much chaos. This is exactly what she's needed.
um, and the last thing he brings out from inside of the picnic is like some small pillows and blankets, enough to just sort of like set in the ship so they can spend the night harbored there.
Oh. Yeah, she'd cuddle right up to him.
And they wake up dry. The ship is a better build.
I mean, it's what he does.
um, and in the morning, it's a matter of turning the ship back around, going to work. The sort of like hopeful looks from everybody that works with him and has worked with Runa on the regular of like just stuff happening. He's clearly not going to tell them anything, but they can also tell from like the happiness in his step and everything like that he thought the date went well, and their imaginations can make of it whatever they want.
You know what? Actually, as they're walking past, like as they're walking past like the shipyard, she's gonna grab his face and kiss him. They don't need to imagine. They know. They have their answer.
Yeah, and it takes I think like Runa has to kind of get on tiptoe to kiss
Yeah,
him.
absolutely.
But like
She's not that
mid-kiss,
tall.
there's like a smattering of like applauses.
They start barking.
And Jairus seems not to even like notice. He does, however, nearly twist his ankle when he walks off and like steps down into the shop and just completely misses the stairs because he's still kind of caught in like I just got kissed by this really pretty girl land. So, um, we have an hour left, and I understand the journal is something that wants to be done, and the other thing that would like to be done is whoever is going to be going to provide the antidote for Upman, if that's still planning on being done.
Well, Runa is the one receiving the antidote, correct?
The Rune is the one who has the antidote.
Yeah, she has it. Yeah.
If Gav will trust him, well, it'll be there, but that's kind of up to the big guy.
Spear stays outside. You even so much as grow a whisker, I am throwing you into the river.
Yeah, it's all right. We could both use a bath. So, all right. The spear stays out. It's fine.
So while that's being planned, Honorine and Rosa, you have a moment. I know Honorine has been curious about the journal. What's kind of the way of going about this? Like, I don't know if Honorine is just straight like filching the thing, or Rosa's like handing it over and asking her to like keep an eye on it, or
They get to the handoff and Rosa can't let go.
So Rosa was planning on giving it to her, but then had horrible nightmares. Is that right?
Yeah. She had the dream about basically being their grandmother. And chipping her bear, I guess. But yeah, she will actually probably after talking to Len, when her and Honorine have a moment alone. Did you want to see this?
Where are they? Like,
yeah, that's my. Where would they have some alone?
This is
time
wherever
to, like,
you are making the offers. Is it the bear house? Is it?
It would be
presumably they spend time at each other's houses. So Honorine, I think, would have been like, hey, I think she would have been like, hey, come over, like, and possibly would have wanted to vent a little bit to Rosa about losing what's his face and being like, I don't know. I have the letter and I don't know what to do about this, and like just like sort of bitching about like not about Ettore, but about like this situation. Like she's like, I can't make any headway on this, and I don't know. I haven't gotten a letter from my aunt in forever, so I don't even know what's going on with her. I don't know if she's all right. And so that would be the context where she would invite Rosa over to talk. And so
In the background, Waldo's like on the level below, like, how did blood get up here? Describing something.
Why is he in her house?
Because he does all the maintenance and cleaning and stuff, and Ettore was here getting blood and stuff.
But
He's
like,
just in the background going back and forth cleaning the floor as they're having this conversation.
He's utterly like not listening to the conversation. He's in full like obsessive compulsive cleaning mode. So,
and I guess she's just used to it by now.
yeah. And he comes over every day and like brings some kind of small lunch for Honorine.
Yeah, she wants to give Honorine the journal, and then she gets like nervous. So yeah, it'd be like constantly of like, would this, like, she'd go to offer and then stop halfway through talking, and then I mean would what would, and then she just at some point pulls it out and just puts it on the table.
This really is what started it all for you, I think. Right? This is what you were after when you first saw me.
When I met you, yes. I figured the journal might be able to help us.
And she'll kind of reach over and like kind of pull the journal closer to kind of look at it and like kind of flip it open to a random page. You're muted.
It is icy to the touch for honoring the entire journal.
Like painful icy or
Yes.
is it
But not
always
for Rosa?
It does not, but like it's a matter of like after a round, it'll start doing flesh wounds to Honorine as long as she's holding it.
Okay, so she goes to pull it closer and she's like, oof, is it always so cold?
It begins like literally you can see like snowflakes kind of like spreading across the knees of her dress and like on her hands where she touched the journal briefly. And you
Not-
remember that like when you got it, it was in a chest. Like nobody had to handle it. And Rosa just picked it up and has been the only one touching it since.
No Twitch chat for you.
I
Close
don't
it.
have Twitch.
Oh,
I don't have Twitch. I don't have Twitch. I can't. My internet won't let me right now.
okay. Anyway,
Watch it later.
that's what I thought you were laughing at.
No.
So Honorine, so they're sitting at a table, so in theory she doesn't have it on her lap, so her legs aren't freezing to death, right?
I was assuming for just a moment she put it there and it sort of happened, and she kind of like offloads it onto the table.
Yeah. Okay, all right, okay. She's gonna like kind of take a little hairpin and like kind of flip it open with the hairpin instead of using her fingers.
Okay. So for her, the journal just appears to
Fusion
be
just passes.
music sheets, like just composition after composition after composition.
What did you say, Sarah? What about passes?
Confusion is just passing over Rosa's face.
Oh.
Because it's never been cold for her. She's very confused as to why it's cold for you.
And she's kind of like, she kind of hums a few bars. Like she's curious, but she's just sort of like, I don't understand why this has made such a she's trying to figure out why this has made such an impact on Rosa.
The music as you like hum a couple of bars, I'm trying to figure out how to describe this. If somebody had squeezed dread into note form, there's something like building and ominous and like frightening of like the in the chords. Like it's like what you would use to presage like the protagonist is about to be murdered. Does that make sense? And like letting the audience know it's going to happen when the people in the play couldn't see it.
It's a horror stinger.
It's just the violins from Psycho.
I was kind of thinking a lot of like the really like just unnatural tones from like the original Alien movie
Yeah.
in the ship in that sort of like condensed trapped environment.
Mm-hmm. And it's all in minor key. So she's kind of humming a couple bars, flipping through this, and she looks over at Rosa and she's like, "What do you see when you look at this? What does it say to you?"
In the dress or like in the what kind of room are they in? It's like a
Probably
not a foyer.
sitting room, salon.
Yeah, like
kind
a sitting
of.
room. There's like a decorative mirror and like makeup table, the kind of like sitting table, like in one corner of it. And in the reflection of it, you can see your great grandmother like watching Honorine turning the pages of the book.
Um. Oh, Rosa thinks she's losing her mind. Um.
Is she at all expressive about this, or like can on like because right now
There-
Honoриne's being a little bit casual, like kind of like flipping through something like and just sort
She's
of like
probably she's getting nervous. Like she's kind of unnerved by, oh, now she's watching us from the mirror or watching Honorine. Like, and Rosa already has like this feeling of, I'm not sure if I can trust this anymore.
so she's coming across as kind
And
of like hedgy.
yeah. And what does Rosa see when she's reading the book?
She just like the thing is like when Rosa reads the book, like she's aware that she's like reading notes, but like more often than not, she's like imagining things. She's seeing things in her head. Um, it, it's like the feeling is of being in the same room with somebody else, sharing an activity. Like if you were sitting with your grandmother and the both of you are knitting, like you're reading a book, but like what you're really doing is just sort of being with her.
Mm-hmm.
And the specifics of the
And
notes and the music and stuff like that are just sort of absorbed, but they're like nothing you're really focusing on.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it feels like a third person who doesn't know how to knit is in the knitting circle.
So she's knocking off the groove. Got it.
Ooh,
And like the feeling is like grandma's like, I'll accept her if you want, but like she doesn't know how to knit.
setting off the Emperor's groove, throwing it off.
Yep. Yep. I'm so glad somebody caught it. Yeah, she tries to explain it as best as she can. Like about how she sees things, how it feels like she's sitting in the room with her, but she knows she's always alone.
And Honoриne's gonna kind of slide the book aside and kind of reach and hold Rosa's hands, like, and kind of validate her. Like, I know exactly what you mean. I've felt the same way around around my statue.
It doesn't seem much different to me. Right? The statue in the journal.
I don't think so, but
You're able to communicate with whatever the statue represents, right?
sometimes, but I'm not afraid of the statue.
Like, it hasn't done anything to you, right?
Not to me.
And she kind of holds up the web on her hands. And then you see Hans, though. And I wonder.
Honestly, his association has put him in danger. And mine has been benign to me so far. But these are not benign beings. These are dangerous, inhuman creatures, for lack of a better word.
But at one point she was human.
Do you think she still is?
She's dead.
Grandma is intently watching the answer to that question.
Her answer is she's dead, right? You can't keep existing after that.
Well, clearly she is.
In some way, but I don't understand.
Do you think she has continued existing in some way that is still human?
I don't know.
I think
How you're Scatterman, right? Is that how you say it?
close enough.
Was he human?
I can't imagine him ever having been human.
Then I don't. Len talks all the time about Yusura's Matrushka. I think that's how you say it.
I'm willing to go
And
with
being
it. I don't speak Usuran. Yet. How about this?
It's hard. Why don't you keep it? See what if it helps you out.
That was exactly what I was going to suggest. I don't know that it will help me very much, especially since I can't seem to touch it. But I can keep it safe for you for a little while. Until maybe you feel a little less entwined.
Probably for the best of all of us.
Grandmother give me one second.
Oh no.
And she's focused on Rosa. Is Rosa like staring over her shoulder?
She has been.
So she's
the
like,
mirror behind Honoring audibly cracks. Like splinters just kind of like go through it and rush to the edges of like the oval. And Rosa can still see the kind of like scattered, like shattered pieces of grandmother through it. And she hears grandmother's voice. I bear your sister no ill will, but she turned from the family. This book is meant for my children, and she has married into another family.
excuse me, unmarried?
Oh wow.
Shattenman hasn't put a ring on it?
Honorine does not hear any of the words.
What do I need to do to swipe the book?
To swipe it?
Mm-hmm. Like, it's gonna be out of character, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Well, she's not gonna keep it from Rosa, and also when the mirror cracks, she's seriously gonna like look and be like, oh, what the crap?
Yeah.
So like
Very
Rosa can
broken
just
mirror.
some
take
panic in
it.
it.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear what you said either. Rosa.
Oh no, I was just saying. The issue is she's freaked out by that, and she doesn't want Honorine hurt. So she wants to grab it to protect Honorine, but also at the same time, I feel like Honorine would realize she took it back after that cracked.
Well, yeah. So Honorine turns back and Rosa's got the book back in her hands, and well, so Honorine's been like holding Rosa's hands and stuff, like so Rosa like pulls her hands free and snatches the book, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, so did she turn away still holding her hands?
Well, yeah, I mean she's sort of been holding Rosa's hands and like consoling her and whatever. And so yeah, when she like turned in surprise, she was still holding them or whatever, but like not she's not like gripping them. She's just holding them loosely.
Yeah, then it would be a pull out of her hands, grab the book, and immediately hold it close to her.
Okay, so there's
and
definitely...
she looks petrified.
There's definitely a sense of confusion, but there's also like Honorine is like her protective instincts are like kind of twigged at this point. And she's like, I understand if it will be difficult for you. And I'll support whatever choice you make. But
she doesn't want you to have it. She says because you're not part of the family, you shouldn't have it.
Really?
That's why it's cracked.
Honorine's going to lean closer and very, very gently touch one of the scars on Rosa's face. She hasn't earned the right to dictate who family is when she let this happen.
She's gonna hold it out. Take it as fast as you can. And I'm just going to leave.
Honorine's gonna like pull off a shawl and like wrap a shawl around it and kind of set it on the chair.
Can she leave? Oh my god.
Set it on the chair and hug Rosa and push her out the door.
Oh.
Okay.
Trying to help someone
Honorine is
out of a
able to
bad
like wrap.
situation.
Honorine is able to wrap the book with no problem. You know what I'm saying? But what Rosa sees in the mirror as she's looking over Honorine's shoulder, she sees her grandmother. And then there's sort of like a flick, and she sees the room that she's looking at, the like shattered reflection of it, but it looks empty, as if like every piece of like wallpaper was peeling and the carpet had rotted away. Like everything about it is this sort of like dead, empty space. And her grandmother is in it, and she's not simply standing there, she's floating there. Her skin is completely white, and her eyes are completely black, as if she was like using full power Strega magic, right? Um, and Rosa recognizes the creature that is looking at her from the legends of Badachi. There's a creature called a Night Gaunt. It's what happens when a Strega dies from Fate Lashes. When they use their powers for others to such an extent that it kills them, they don't die. And she says,
Shove out the door.
I am trying to protect you.
I'm sorry, Siosa, I didn't realize you were going to say
okay.
more.
She says, I am trying to protect you. One day, you will need my book again. And when you come for it, you will have to ask my forgiveness. And then she disappears out of the mirror.
Yeah, after she's pushed out, she's gonna go see Len.
We're just
Night
gonna
Gaunts,
take
but
this.
I would like one thing from you real quick. I want you to roll your resolve against a target number of 35. Night Gaunts are like a thing that inflicts horror just by like their visage, just looking at them. So she did see a Night Gaunt, and I need her to roll.
Do I need to roll at all?
You didn't see it.
Okay.
It only appeared to Rosa.
Oh, good lord.
13.
13?
13.
Okay. Rosa is unaware of it. Len, because you're going straight to Len's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're not sure what's wrong, but Rosa's temple has turned white.
If you intended this, I love what you did with your hair. If not, we will fix it.
I
If
pissed
you'll-
her off.
Well, then this definitely could have gotten much worse.
Henrienne's busy wrapping it in like 4 pillowcases and shoving it under her bed. Teach you to scare my sister, bitch.
Managed to
You're muted.
managed to leave
The moment Henri has turned away, the box, the book, like where she had it, seems to like against the floor.
rattle.
No one asked you.
Please sass your ancient grandma at any
right.
opportunity, please.
Let me guess, she said something about how she was trying to protect you and you needed to keep the book with you or there would be consequences, blah, blah, blah.
What is it called again?
Blah blah meow blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Night
Night
Nightgast? Night Gaunt. She's a Night Gaunt. She died from too many fate lashes.
That would
Honorene's in
explain some
danger.
things. Well, how far can she reach with her magic from the book without you there to channel it?
Does Rosa know this?
Nope.
I don't know.
That's a thing. How about we get Honorine a moving in gift of some sort of lead-lined container? Maybe some holy water?
I don't know.
Well, it can't hurt. But we'll just have to make sure to check in with Honorine a bunch and make sure that she's okay. If things start getting out of hand, well, there are a lot of boats, a whole lot of ocean, and it only really takes a couple weights to make something sink real good.
It's made of paper, right?
Yeah, there's that too. But either way,
That the Inquisition couldn't destroy.
yeah, I don't need it destroyed. I need it lost at the bottom of the ocean for all time. Or at least a good 100 years or so, you know. But I'll say this to you. I love you. and spooky undead granny doesn't get to dictate what you do and don't do, and especially doesn't get to mess with your hair. That is so fucking rude.
I guess it's what happens when you see the Nightcast.
Well, then we're gonna have to revoke Granny's visitation right. That's just she's lost all privileges at this point because I don't see any sort of guarantee that this can't happen again or worse. And well, I just don't feel like she's a good influence on you.
Yeah. I'm starting to believe so as well.
And
And
this is
now I'm
from
even more worried about Hans. And Honorary.
what the whole Shatton Man thing that they've got going on there? Because apparently we've just got to have gods fucking everywhere in this little mix. I mean, Matrushka. I've talked to Kolshay. I've met Mother Winter. We have Shatton Man. We have Grandma Nighthaunt. We have the whole embodiment of Ruin, hanging out with Runa. Gav's the only one of us who doesn't have one of these things. So we need to find something for him too.
Well,
do you know
Gav
any?
has the lizards.
Snake.
He does have the Verschlingen and the Cernith hand. So I suppose that's.
And Arthur even has the Fae.
Yeah. Arthur has the Fae. And I'm not saying it's his fault that we also have the Fae, but I think it's quite a coincidence that we have the Fae. And Arthur's not around a lot right now. I know he's busy and such, but I really don't feel great about being hot potato with the Fae on top of everything else.
So it feels like a good transition
I have
point.
to. Yes, please.
As I'm gonna cut over to Upman. You guys are in the basement of the rat catchers. For those who haven't been here, it's like filled with rats for one thing.
Very squeaky.
Buddies.
Yeah, and like the thing is like fully half of them are like cage bound. You know what I'm saying? Like they just can't be trusted. The other half are like pet status, so they just kind of like wander around, sniffing things. You know what I'm saying? They're
Honorine
very
would be horrified, but I am delighted.
Yeah.
Who is here? Who's coming into this? Was Gav coming as well?
Oh, of course.
Okay. All right. So Hans and Honorine. So Upman is in like one part. He's on a bed. He looks like he's been cleaned up, but like nobody felt comfortable like changing his clothes. They didn't have something to replace it. So he's still in the clothes that he was found in with like the blood, but there's no sign of like his injuries anymore. And there's also no sign that he's like out of come out of it at any point or like eaten, but he's also not doesn't appear to be starving. Um, he just lies peacefully. And there's a certain like nervousness, like Margot sits up as everybody comes in, like wondering if this is like about to be something related to her and like a final fate of some kind. Um, but Runa can see where Hans is. Hans up, not our Hans, sorry. No leg day Hans. um, the the potion that arrived does not have instructions on it. It's just like a bottle with like a clear silvery looking liquid in it and a cork stopper.
One would assume that the instructions would be pretty straightforward.
Hear me out. He drinks it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Good news, everybody! It's a suppository.
No. So she's gonna
That's how it wakes
uncork
him
it
up.
and like lift his head and pour
So
it.
when you uncork it, a gas begins to stream out of it. A silvery gas that like goes down over your hand. It feels incredibly cool to the touch. But
I can't say I
it
fully trust
keeps
her.
going. It keeps like spreading out and like it covers Hans. The others are going to see Runa disappear into it. What are you guys doing? Are you kind of like the
Goodbye,
cloud keeps
friends.
expanding through the room?
Goodbye.
Grabbing
If
hands.
It
Len
Felix
is
was nice
grabbing
knowing you
hands.
guys.
Yeah.
If Felix
No.
is in the room, Gav immediately grabs him and removes him from said room and closes the door
Okay. So you're
in
pulling
case
away.
in case we don't have time to get out.
Okay. Um, okay, so you're staying in the room, but you're pulling.
I'm keeping Felix safe.
And I'm
Um,
grabbing Runa on the shoulder and Rosa's hand and expecting Rosa to grab for Gav or Felix or whoever might still be around.
Okay.
Who's ever closest?
There's like a lurch in the floor of your stomach, like a sense, um, and then you're just dropping, straight falling down. Um, Runa is the first one because she grew up on a boat to recognize the smell of the sea. You
He's
fall
home.
into open ocean, all four of you. Margot falls too, and you see her she kicks, she's wearing iron manacles, and then she starts
Rope.
immediately to sink.
Gav wouldn't have used iron on her. She would have been tied with rope.
Okay.
Yeah, just she'd still be bound, so I mean,
Yeah, okay. Like you have a sense of like where she's not sinking as fast as she would be with like iron manacles. I want a roll from Runa that is her wits, her keen senses, and her sailor knack. For those who has like any kind of athlete knack.
Len has athlete knack, but more importantly, Len has otter form.
Okay, I'm just want to get through who has the athlete knack.
Okay,
period.
so get both.
I do not.
Okay. Bruna, because you have the sailor knack, that specifically grants you swimming. So
She's
you don't.
probably fallen off a boat more than once in her life.
Yeah.
She's probably been
So-
thrown off a boat more than once in her life.
So if you have the athlete knack, you're capable of like keeping yourself up. You get above the waves. You appear to be in deep water. There is no land in sight, but what is in sight is the tower of the Wachtturm. It is here, surrounded by nothing but water. But Runa, I need you to make a wits, keen senses, and sailor knack.
Another one?
Oh, did you just roll? Okay. Um, Everybody sinks a little bit at first. You guys fell from like what would be the distance of the rat catcher's basement above water. Does that make sense? Into it. So it's like 10 feet. So you're going to go underwater a little bit just because you have enough momentum. If Len wants to transform into otter, he can, but I think he was like helping keep Rosa up.
Yeah, at that point, if Rosa he realizes, oh, yeah, she can't swim. All right.
Yeah,
I
and
got
an
this.
otter is just not going to do it.
No.
I understand that Rosa typically wears traditional kind of like Vidachi dress, right?
Yeah.
Yes, so she is in clothing that are the antithesis of design for swimming.
Pull a pose and cut it off of her.
That's actually what Len's gonna do. He's like, sorry about the dress, love, but he's gonna get her out of.
Runa
as
would
many
actually
layers.
give you one of her daggers.
Okay. What Runa saw as she went underwater, because she's the only one who's like open sea experience and stuff like that, she sees shadows like moving under them, and from like the pattern of the way they swim and the way they're circling, she realizes what they are. They are being approached by sirens.
No,
In
thank you.
this world, sirens are sharks, but with like mermaid upper halves.
I love it here. Do I get a drama die for being trusting?
I will actually give you one. Yeah.
Wicked.
I wanna eat where the people are. I wanna chew their legs off.
And there's no land anyway.
Well, there's the tower, so I
Yeah,
guess we
there's
got to try.
just the Wachtturm that she can see. And when you look at
Okay.
it from underwater, the amount of Wachtturm that is extended above like the earth is matched by an amount of tower that goes below it. Like what you see of the shadow of the tower itself when you're in Freiburg is literally half of it. And it's the tallest structure you've ever seen in your life. This one is somehow floating in the water despite its size.
Runa just very panicked. We need to get to the Wachtturm quick.
Yeah, I think you're
There are
gonna have
sirens below us.
I think you're gonna have to help the other two, or at least get one of them up to me, because I don't know who can swim.
Would it be safe to say that Runa has swam with someone and is capable of doing so?
Yes.
Because then she's also swimming with Upman.
Upman isn't there.
Take Margot.
She's taking Margot then.
Okay, so I'm gonna want to finesse and sailor roll from you to represent going down below the water and getting Margot and getting her up in time. I want an athlete from Len to free Rosa from her dress enough that he can help her swim. What is Gab doing?
17 okay?
Athlete plus what?
He does not have athletics, so he's trying to tread water.
Okay, so you're gonna be making raw finesse rolls, but your tens are not gonna explode as you're swimming.
For the clothing,
If you spend a drama die, by the way, you will get the bonus of the drama die, and you'll also get your tens exploding.
Okay. What trait with athletics to get the dress off Rosa?
Finesse.
Just finesse. Okay.
Finesse to get it off quickly, cleanly, and without hurting her.
Okay, I will take that drama die.
Okay.
25.
Okay.
Thinking
20.
about it, her mom probably threw her off a ship to make sure she could save herself.
Oh, her mom absolutely like put her out on beaches and stuff like that, and like later on when it was calmer waters, like people would just regularly go swim. So, but they always had somebody on siren watch.
Yeah.
Okay. So 20 from Bison, a 25 from Len to get free. And Runa got a 17. Okay, so you have managed to get Margot back to the surface, managed to get her out of like some of the ropes. You had knives and stuff on you, so you're able to like cut through and free them. She's got some experience swimming, but she's clearly like not much of a stronger swimmer than Gav is. Like this hasn't been a big part of her life. So she and Gab are both swimming in probably Rosa with whatever she's trying to help, are swimming in the worst possible way to attract sirens. Because it's loud and splashy and noisy. Gav kind of like sees one like swim by first. He sees like the kind of upper body of like a very beautiful, very naked woman who hides her mouth. But Gav is like a monster hunter and like he has seen stuff in the books. You know what I'm saying? He knows what a siren is up this close. So the
It's a good thing I brought me fish hook.
it's still hard to use in these circumstances.
Oh yeah,
and
but
it's
I'm just saying I'm fighting sirens, a fish hook.
So I am going to need finesse and athlete or sailor rolls from everybody at this point. If you get over a 40, you will be able to get to the Wachtturm itself.
What do you mean? Together?
No,
Give me the
individually.
What do you mean?
You're trying to outswim sharks in open water.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
All right, that's a 17 to start.
Okay.
This isn't gonna go
You
well.
said
Athletics
finesse?
and finesse.
I'm in danger. 6.
Oh no.
47, but he's not leaving Rosa behind. So
I'm gonna use a drama die.
Okay.
So that's extra unkept, extra kept.
Extra unkept, extra kept.
Cool.
I rolled a 9 and 2 4s.
Ah! Ah!
So yeah, 16.
Len's going Aquaman while everybody else is dog paddling frantically.
Runa knows how to swim.
Yeah, but
She's
you-
just probably like I feel like she'd be too busy trying to get the others to like trying to help someone swim.
Yep.
She's
Okay.
probably like grabbing Rosa.
I'm not gonna like roll flesh wounds and stuff like that right here. Here's what I'm gonna do instead. Okay. Bison, you take a dramatic wound as like you're being clawed by Siren's claws as they're trying to like haul you under, but you're managing to stay afloat. Len, you have the choice. Sans can go under the group of Sirens, or you can. Okay.
No, I said I was grabbing her.
No, Len already has her.
Okay,
But
okay.
he rolled the 47. Like, he's the one who cut her out of the heavy dress and such, but he's also the one who's not going to let her get clawed to shit by Sirens. So,
Okay. Runa is close enough to hear like Margot scream as she also like gets clawed but manages to like stay on top of the water. Sans, Rosa turns and she sees Len like, pushing one of the Sirens away and another one like grab his shoulders from behind and just haul him under. And like she can't see him after that.
Can I go under the water and see if I can see any strands?
you can't even swim. So you can sink, I guess.
I'll start sinking if it means I
but
can
here's the
save
thing.
him.
Your target number to be hit, if you're not even trying to swim, is a 5. Do you even have defense
Try and
next,
save
though?
Lun.
Keep swimming.
No.
Just
Rosa.
keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Let the meat bros
It's
fight the fish.
here's the thing. Do you want a drama die?
I have a drama die.
No, do you
have
want a
to.
drama die?
Yeah,
Because your
Sure.
hubris is loyal.
I know it is.
Take a drama die.
That's what's pushing this.
Ah!
Okay, what do I roll to?
So roll another
Oh.
swimming check.
I swear to God,
So that's a
Siosa, if
3,
we
keep
get
3?
killed on our downtime episode,
He never
I know.
said this was a downtime episode.
21.
He said the last one was a downtime episode.
Okay.
this one is too. It's continuation.
So
and I know where
you're
he
you're
fits.
doing your best to like kind of like swim and get sight of him, and you see so like they're not biting into Len and tearing at him. What you see is that there's like one siren and then 2 and then 3, and they like each have a limb, and they're swimming down to like the deepest, darkest parts of the ocean, the places that Len will not be able to breathe. And they're doing it with like shark tails and like a speed that she's not going to be able to match. But I don't think that is stopping Rosa from trying.
No, it's not.
And she hears almost like a faint sound of laughter that sounds like her grandmother's.
Can I try to get her?
Okay. So next round, are people swimming after Len? Are they swimming towards the Wachtturm? Let me know.
I know what I
Gav-
want to do, but I can't
Gav
do it.
went down, didn't
I have
he?
to go get
He only
her.
got a
No,
17.
Gav took a dramatic wound. Runa took a dramatic wound. Margot
Did
took a
I?
dramatic wound.
Um,
Runa knows that Len is probably going to be okay. She wants to grab Rosa.
Okay.
as
Her target number to
much-
be hit is a 5 because she's not a great swimmer.
Yeah, that's
As-
why she needs to get her so that
Your
one, she's
results,
harder to hit.
whatever your results are of like swimming towards the Wachtturm, will be halved by virtue of dragging an unwilling person along.
Right
sorry,
now,
we've done
I
this
am the
before.
only able swimmer. Right now.
Len's also an able swimmer.
Yeah, but he's got. He's gotten. And I don't know what to do. Someone help. I have a feeling that Upman is in the Wachtturm and we need to go get him.
Okay, so
Gav tells you to take care of Margot and he's going to go down. He's going to try and rescue Len. Out of everyone, Gav is the exact opposite person that these sirens want to get into a wrestling match with. He's going to brutalize these bitches.
Okay.
Okay,
Luna?
Rosa is being dragged, I assume.
She's listening to Gav. She's just gonna look at Gav and go, "Don't let anything happen to them, please." And she's gonna get Margot to
Okay.
the walk.
I'm 100% giving Gav a drama die for reckless as well. Okay.
Runa's trusting that he's gonna be able to do it.
Yeah.
This isn't me saying you should give me a drama die. I'm just like,
I'm gonna give you one
can
for
open
just like opening the potion, period. So
I don't know what it
I have
does or
no
how it
clue.
works. Let's just
Here's-
do it, YOLO.
She
here's
said
what I
she'd
want.
give me
I want
everything.
Runa to make a swimming roll, and I'm also gonna make another swimming roll for Margot.
I don't like that there's only 2 kept dice. I need more kept dices.
Same.
You had a drama dice already?
2 kept dices to only 2 kept dices, so it's a little bit scary.
Do you have a shiny new drama die if you want it?
I'm gonna use
Do-
another drama die.
There you go.
Because you were being.
Ignore that. That didn't happen.
That's halved, so it doesn't happen. Okay. So
she did it
those
wrong.
weren't my numbers.
She did it wrong. She did 5K6.
Because I said I was gonna use a drama die and I had already inputted the 5.
go ahead.
So it's a 6, keep 3. It's
Reroll.
not all that.
Holy shit.
Whoa!
41
Okay.
on one
Suddenly it's
die.
30.
Ah!
So what's up, Namor?
But it
Okay.
was all a dream.
By sheer like this is one of those things
Best
where
in
it's
rage.
like there
That's
should
what
be
this
like
is.
runes to call on or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But like it's just the sheer grit and determination of like I am not letting my friend like go down there. Does that make sense? You manage to pull like Rosa up and onto the thing. You see like Margot is yanked below. You see Gav disappear beneath the waves. You see like you can no longer see Len. I can't hear what Sarah's saying. Are you talking to us?
Bug saying hi. Sorry.
Oh, okay. No worries. Okay. Um, so, I'm not, so Gav, like, you can take out 2 or 3 of them. That's not a problem. There are dozens and dozens. And you are like pulled down and down. Like you reach a point where you realize like even with like a full breath, you would not be able to reach the surface again. And you still haven't caught up to Len. At the same time, like Len, if you can try to transform if you want, but you realize that like there's a sea of them. And the other thing you're realizing is like they are not biting you. If this was a feeding frenzy,
You'd already be torn apart. I mean, they could be sadistic and just really wanting to drown him. He gets that. They're probably jealous of the fact that he has a fantastic ass and they've got shark ass. But otherwise, he's just. They seem to be swimming with a purpose, and there's really nothing he can do at this point. Like even as an otter, he might not be able to make it to the surface, assuming he's not intercepted by suddenly much larger shark women. So he's just kind of got to go with it and see what happens. He doesn't really feel like there's a smarter play.
The darkness like of not being able to breathe begins to close around you. And you can feel your lungs begin to pain and like the sort of crush of the continued dragging. You had like done training with swimming, like just release a little breath, to kind of keep it. But like the world is narrowing. And in that narrowing world, you see a woman swimming towards you. She is like she's light-skinned enough that her body looks almost like luminescent in the water. And you can't make out much more than like that she has dark hair and pale skin, and she does not have like the lower body of a shark. she has legs.
He knows how
And
to
you
use them.
see her swim close, and she puts her hands on either side of your face, and she kisses you, and you feel air like flood into your lungs. And then she covers your mouth, and you see her swim up and past and towards Gav.
Now I feel bad about killing all these shark ladies.
As Runa's like dragging Rosa to the tower, she's consistently apologizing because I'm assuming that Rosa's freaking out.
She's just crying.
She's like, I'm sorry, he's gonna be okay, I promise, I'm sorry. Like, just trying to console her while also making sure that they get out of the water.
Yeah, and you're like on like this tiny little like rocky outcrop that like within you can see the Wachtturm, except it's lacking two things. It doesn't have the portal that took you straight to the top, and it doesn't have stairs. Those were things that were added by builders. The the same kind of pale face comes to Gav, like you're losing consciousness. You can hold your breath for some time between your brawn and your resolve, but like you're deeper and deeper under deep ocean. And the same thing happens. You feel a mouth against yours. You feel air like flood into your lungs. And you have the brief vision of this very naked woman swimming by and up towards like the third cluster of sirens that is dragging who you realize is Margot down.
Gav's violence turns into confusion. And he stops trying to kill his captors.
Yeah, you kind of looking at them, you can see there's some that are like heavily injured, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And you see like two or three like swim off towards them, and then you watch as those two or three rip the injured one apart.
Which is what Bison was hoping for. They'd cause some kind of feeding frenzy and, rescue everybody. But yeah, no, Gav's like super confused now. But holding his breath because,
Yeah, and you both see that like pale feminine figure swim ahead of you, and you begin to see the light of something glowing deep under the ocean. Um, the You pass through a membrane that's like a enormous bubble, and as you pass through it, you see a kingdom made of shell and reef and coral. That like rises up and out of the ground. The sirens just sort of like push the three of you through. Like Margot stumbles and kind of and is the first one to discover, yep, there's air down here, and like the that you can breathe. But she, puts her hand to her chest, and the woman that gave the three of you breath turns. She is wearing nothing but seaweed. And if there was like, okay, like how appearance scales from like above average to stunning, it also has two other ranges that are only accessible if you are an inhuman creature, beautiful like beyond description. She has both of those. She has a full 4 unkept dice of appearance.
Question: Is
Yes.
there like a stairs down
Nope.
from up here? Okay.
Nope. It's actually sort of like a hollow in both directions. Like you could leap to the bottom of it, but you can see where it narrows.
Gav helps, make sure Margot's okay and kind of starts to undo her binds.
Yeah, I think Runa had cut through most of them that had allowed her to swim. But she's like this is definitely outside of her wheelhouse. You know what I'm saying?
It's just like a soft, are you okay?
Margot kind of like, by what metric?
I am very sorry you got caught up in this.
I'm alive and I'm breathing.
That's all we can hope for at this moment. Just stay
she
close to the walls. We will protect you.
The woman turns at "We will protect you," and she says, "You will require no protection here. You are guests of my mother."
Quick look to Len.
Can we come in?
And the woman, she looks to the three of you. She says, "There were others with you, others brought to this realm."
Frau Runa is a very good swimmer.
She says she will be granted the same protection if she is brought here. She says, provide me a token to show to them that I can be trusted, and I will bring them down here."
Len has Runa's dagger.
Yeah, Len has Runa's dagger, so he'll hand that back, and this should do it. If not, whoever goes up there, just say meow meow. Come on down. They'll get what that means.
She raises an eyebrow and she says, "Is this a joke?"
Kind of a joke, but also another indication that you can be trusted.
"Very well. Remain here. I will retrieve your companions."
So
That is not how I expected this to go today.
yeah, I didn't expect to end up in.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. I didn't expect to end up in a contained ocean and fondled by shark women and then kissed by a naiad. I'm not even really sure what she was.
She pauses at the edge of the bubble and she says, "I am Marith, daughter of Queen Elaine." And she steps into the water.
That's the girl that Arthur was talking about.
Oh, so you know Arthur?
No, that's a different name.
Oh. I
Marith
thought he
is
said
fully a
something
different
about
name.
Elaine.
Yeah, but
Queen Elaine is the one that Arthur is a knight to.
Yes, that's what I was talking
Oh,
about.
okay. Yeah.
I thought that's the
Yeah.
one
I
he,
was
the one
talking
he
about
refers to
Elaine.
his mom.
Yeah, he's in the lane.
Well, Arthur's really going to be mad that he wasn't here then, or he'll be really happy that he wasn't here then. I'm really not sure where he stands on all of that.
All right. So we are at 2:34. This is obviously going to be continued in another session. It's going to be a lengthy thing, but I would like time, if it's okay, to just kind of play out the introduction of Marith to Rosa and Runa.
I'm good.
Yeah, if you end right now, I will stab you.
All right.
I love you, Lori.
She it's a couple I'm just kind of picturing Runa holding Rosa, assuring it's gonna be okay, and Rosa beside herself.
Kind of bear hugging her as she's probably trying to throw herself into the water.
A partner dive.
The most beautiful creature you have ever seen emerges from the black water, and stands on the edge of the stone of the Wachtturm. And her eyes close for a moment, and you can tell whatever is happening, it is incredibly painful for her to be right here. And she reaches out and she has Runa's dagger in her hand, and she drops it. She says, "Meow meow, you must come with me."
He's alive. Okay. She's just gonna resheath her dagger.
He's alive.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
And she
Alright,
takes
let's go.
both of their hands and she just dives into the water. And you see the way she swims is like a fish. It's full flick of legs and stuff like that. It's not like a human swimmer. Does that make sense? And it's incredibly powerful propulsion. It's beyond what her legs should be capable of making. But she has a grip on the both of you and speeds through the darkness. And even at that speed, there is a point where she pauses and she turns and she kisses each of you in turn and breathes air into your lungs. Before to the floor, and the both of you suddenly like pushed through a bubble, like staring at a coral palace and the surrounding grounds and seashells and aquatic creatures that move through it, even though to you it is air.
Wow. Thank God you guys are okay.
Immediately hugs Len. You're muted.
Of course I am. Yep, just big hug to both of them. Just yay, we're all together and only mildly mauled.
Very damp.
Excuse me, who's all together?
Those of us who went
Those of us who
this
almost
way.
died. Who could have died. I realized I was nowhere near dying, so I should correct myself.
Maris gestures towards the palace. She says the queen is waiting.
Oh,
And she begins to walk ahead.
is Arthur here? We haven't seen him in a bit.
She says, who?
Arthur?
Englishman about this tall, likes to drink and make love, and is very sarcastic all the time.
You've described half of Innismore.
Ooh.
Claims to be a direct agent for the queen. Says he calls her mom.
Then she would not be welcome here.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go.
That sounds foreboding.
And she begins to lead the way towards the Coral Palace. So, and that is where we will drop the curtain.
Dink, dink. Dink, 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 dink. Dink, dink.
That was some delightful torture in the last few minutes of like people getting
It's like,
hauled
well,
into the water.
guess I'm making Sid.
Also, the fact that the two people who are associated with the Scatman are the two that are not there is amazing.
Oh.
Why?
Because it would have generated some interesting reactions.
I'm really glad that the one who has experience in open waters was there.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Rosa should not have
Because then
been
they'd be
there.
like, oh, look, fish!
Yeah, Rosa should not have been there.
Oh. But I'm glad I got her out
Yeah.
She
A
got
59
legs.
with
She
3 cut
don't know
dice.
how to use them.
She's in her
All right.
skivvies now.
I'm gonna give everybody 4 experience. There was some danger at the end. I gave out some drama dice. I think some of them were immediately used. I want to nominate Honorine and Rosa for the experience, but I also think they got it last week. But I really did like the scene with them and the grandmother.
Sometimes you're just on a roll, so
Yeah.
I'm for it.
Yeah, that was good.
I also really liked Runa's scene with Jairus. That really struck a chord. So
That was really
I was
cute.
also
That was also
I was going
nice.
to nominate Gav for his scene planning his proposal.
yeah.
No.
The and next week I'm going to be doing a longer scene with Hans and Honorine as well, as they, we're going to realize that their friends are missing, and where they're going to turn to try to resolve that.
Nice.
So
I don't know who to nominate. I was gonna nominate Rosa for the Sarah for Rosa's like everything. the table scene, the running off to Len, the trying to save Len, like just excellent tonight, especially given the delay and the everything.
Yeah.
Like working around technical oddities is
I could
weird.
very much see Rosa's face as like Len disappeared into the water after having like pushed sirens off of her and that reaction. So
And I'd like to nominate Runa for my mom.
That was good.
know.
about that. That was really funny.
And we didn't get to it today.
We did
Which is
not.
fine.
Oh,
I rolled a 59 with 3 kept dice.
Yeah.
It's pretty
You-
impressive.
You
And
can
I can
ride-
do
You
anything.
can
It
ride
was
the
a
high of that
59
until
and
next week.
41 was on one of that.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
the next time you buy your Sailor Knack, you're getting an XP discount for it. Just
Nice.
Do
just
it
giving
now.
it to you.
okay. So
All
who are we bonusing?
I'm gonna give it to the 3, Rosa, Bruta, Honorine.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
So
Take us out, GM.
yes. I had it open, and I'll have it open again in a minute. All right, so thank you for everybody who's watching us on YouTube or live on Twitch. Audience participation always means the world to us, and if you're on YouTube, smash the like, hit the subscribe, and make a comment in the down below. Here at Dirty 20, we always sign out with the same call to action: be nice. Be kind when you have the spoons, but even when you're not, be nice. Be nice to strangers, be nice to family, be nice to your loved ones, and be nice to yourself. Thank you all for coming on this journey with us, and we will see you next week.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Night, y'all.